You asked for it, so here it is. This is Draw My Life. And you'd better appreciate it because this is the third time I'm trying this because it's actually really hard. So I was born in 83 in November, Sagittarius baby, what? In West Palm Beach, Florida, which is probably where your grandparents live. As the only child born to my mom and dad, there were 3 in the family, and we were very happy until we weren't so happy anymore and my parents got a divorce. Truthfully, I don't really remember that much about the divorce, but I remember we were learning how to tell time and I cried through the entire lesson, and to this day, I'm still really bad at telling time. In 2nd grade, I went to St. Anne's, which is a Catholic school, and I was a little apprehensive at first because I'm not Catholic, but my mom was totally sold on it because I'd have to wear a uniform, which is a really great way to save money, I guess. But it ended up actually being really cool, and in 3rd grade, we had to keep a journal as part of an assignment, and I really loved it. I actually kept a journal all the way through college, and I still have all of them. St. Anne's is also where I fell in love with the computer. Computer class was my absolute favorite, and I'm pretty sure it has a lot to do with why I'm such a computer nerd to this very day. In 7th grade, I got accepted to Dreyfus School of the Arts, which is a middle and high school for the performing arts, actually one of the best in the country, whoop! They had dance, music, art, communications, but I decided to go to school for theater. Now, when I got to Dreyfus, I was kind of nerdy because I had always worn a uniform and I didn't have that many cool clothes. And I was super insecure about the way that I looked, and a lot of the kids made fun of me, and I felt really left out. It didn't help that I was already insecure about my looks, mainly my boobs. I was convinced that I had lopsided tits, and truthfully, I did because everyone does. Usually your left is bigger because that's where your heart is. The more you know. In 8th grade, my mom sent me to computer camp where I learned HTML and coding, and I even built my own website. And I was so excited about it that I decided to start my own online journal. In 9th grade, things didn't get that much better for me because I had a really bad dye job and a lot of my hair fell out, so I had to cut it into this really short, like pixie cut thing, but it actually ended up being really cute and I felt way more self-confident, and I realized that I was really funny and I started making tons of friends and becoming really popular. But it started to kind of go to my head and I turned into this huge bitch. I realized that I could use my humor to cover up my insecurities, which seemed like a good idea since I was so popular, but what's the use in being popular if no one likes you? My senior year, I got a scholarship to the University of Michigan for acting, so I packed up my stuff and headed to the chilly north. When I got to school, not much changed. I still kept that stanky attitude, and it ended up pushing me away from a lot of my classmates, so I didn't have very many friends. I got stuck in this class with this girl that I absolutely hated, and we had to work together all the time. But slowly, I realized that she was really cool, and we became good friends. One day she confronted me and said, "Listen, I like you a lot, but I don't understand why you used to be such a bitch." And when I thought about it, I realized that she had all the things that I wish I had, and I was really just jealous of her. I was so embarrassed that I had let my insecurities get in the way of living my life. Thankfully, she was able to forgive me, and we're actually still good friends to this very day. Sophomore year, my scholarship didn't get renewed and I had to take out a bunch of loans, and I was really stressed out. Then I got a job on campus working on one of the school's websites, which gave me an amazing idea. I thought maybe I should go to school for this instead of acting. So I applied to school in Florida, packed up my bags, and headed home to study graphic design. Around this time, I decided that I wanted to go natural, so I cut all my hair off, and then I decided I wanted to start locks. I poked around on the internet looking for help, but I couldn't really find anything, so I decided to start my own blog about my hair journey. One Thanksgiving, I went to a party that was being thrown by some people I went to high school with, and Patrick, who I also went to high school with, ended up being at the party. By the end of the night, it was me, Patrick, and this other girl whose name I don't remember hanging out. She had a bunch of eyeball tattoos, and I was certain that she and Patrick were dating, but it turned out that he was actually interested in me and not her. And then we started to go out. After that, I graduated from school, and as my graduation gift, my dad bought me a new iMac that had a built-in camera, which I was really excited about. Shortly after, I started doing stand-up and entering lots of contests, and then I discovered YouTube was having a contest to go to the Emmys. So I entered, and I won. I got flown to the red carpet where I interviewed lots of celebrities, and it was really awesome, and I thought, this is the life that I want to live. So Patrick and I decided that we would move from Florida to New York with our 2 dogs so that Patrick could go to law school and I could try to become a comedian. But instead, I got stuck working long hours at all my graphic design jobs, so I decided to get more into YouTube. In 2011, I entered the YouTube Next Up contest and I won. I got a bunch of money and cameras and training at YouTube to make my videos better. Shortly after, I had a freelance client that was going to France on business and asked me to tag along. One day I was hanging out by the Eiffel Tower and I turned around and Patrick was there. I was absolutely flabbergasted, and then it got better because he asked me to marry him. And of course, I said yes. When we got back to the States, there was this video that was really blowing up called Shit Girls Say, and everyone was making parodies, but I couldn't come up with an idea of my own. It wasn't until I was at a Christmas party back in Florida where at the end of the night, everyone started touching my dreads and asking me if my hair was real, and I thought this would make a great idea for a video. So when I got back to New York, I made Shit White Girls Say to Black Girls, and to my surprise, it was a hit. It went viral with over 9 million views, and I was able to quit my job as a graphic designer and finally start living my dream as being an actor, comedian, something or other. I was getting calls from everyone: MTV, Anderson Cooper, NPR, MSNBC. I got an agent and a manager. Things were going really good. I spent all of 2012 performing all over the country, doing TV, going on auditions. Life was great. I even got a chance to develop my own TV show with a major cable network. But after spending a year working on it, they decided to pass, and I was really bummed about it. I had been so busy that I wasn't really able to focus on YouTube, and my video views started going way down. And then the phone stopped ringing, and work just wasn't really coming in the way that I wanted it to. Then I realized that I'm kind of at this crossroads. Like, what am I supposed to do with my life? Like, should I be more practical and just get a regular job, or should I keep doing YouTube, which is something that I really like and love, but what I need right now is stability and money, and I have neither of those, and instead I have a lot of stress. I'm starting to feel like time is running out. Like, I'm getting too old for this. Like, what am I doing? Not to mention, I'm supposed to try and get married this year, and I just don't know how I'm gonna make all of it happen. Even though I'm stressed out and confused and just don't really know what I'm doing, I realize I have a lot to be thankful for. First, I have YouTube, which has been so good to me, and I've made so many amazing friends and gotten great opportunities from it. I also have an amazing fiance, 2 dogs that I love, and pretty sweet parents. So even though I feel really confused and I don't know what I want to do with myself, I know that whatever I choose, they'll be there to support me, and eventually I'll figure it out. So yeah, that's it. The end.